Hey guys, Death Center Magic here, and it's time for more MTG mistakes. Now this one, quite a few people know about, but I've still seen so many new people scroll it up that I have to make a video about it. So we're joined today by a giant white square, and it's because we're in Photoshop, and I'm going to draw this one because I just thought it would be funny, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Let's see, there we go, got that all turned on. Now everybody knows how most games end. Table flip, obviously, pretty obvious. But for those rare matches that do not end in a table flip, they end in just like a legitimate win that you made with your legitimate deck by actually like swinging with creatures instead of milling the person out or making them die of old age because you're playing control. Let me set up this scenario, this endgame scenario here. So I'm at 28 life, yay. My opponent is at we'll say 2. So I've got on the field, there we go, look at those perfectly square cards. I'm so glad this is such a nice mouse. This guy has 10 attack, this guy has 2 attack, this guy has 6 attack, and the toughness doesn't matter. This guy has 8 attack, and this guy has 3 attack. Alright, and they have a 0-4 defender, look at that. Alright, so I'm pretty darn sure I'm about to win. Let's say they have like 3 cards in hand that I don't know about. So who knows, they might be able to reset their life total to 26. That's a card, who knows. God, that's not even a square. There we go. Hey, it kind of looks like a magic card, look at that. Alright, so what would I swing with on my turn? Well, you already know where I'm going with this. Oh, I know. Let's bring the whole crew. Let's swing with everybody. All right. Let's just bring everything. Because that's what is that? 18, 20, 26, 29 damage to take out their 2. You know, just in case. Who knows? They might flash in like 4 creatures, right? Who knows? So they'll obviously block 1, and then they'll be taking approximately, I don't know what, 19 damage, something like that, and it guarantees a win, right? You definitely really want to drive it home, just in case they, use Celestial Flare to force you to sacrifice an attacker or something. Okay, now they play Aether Spouts. There goes your entire line. They could literally win the game because of that, because of you being so unbelievably stupid. What you should do instead... And actually, boy, this is going to be... I drew this a little tight. There we go. Oh, that looks beautiful. What you should do is say to yourself, oh, I'm just going to swing with 2, right? I'm going to swing with my 10 and my 8. So then, if they block 1, at least 1 will get through. That's the minimum, the bare minimum that you need to win the game. Oops, this card right here was Celestial Flare. Now you have to sacrifice your 8 attack, and then your 10 guy gets blocked, and then who knows what they're going to do during their turn. They could top deck Worldfire and nuke the entire board. They could just board wipe. They could pretty much do anything. I mean, it's bad. So how do you determine what the total amount that you should swing for is? Well, there's 2 schools of thought on this, and the one I subscribe to is the more advanced method. It requires a lot more thinking, so... Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, some people already hate it then. So, let's say that this card that we're pointing at right here, this one, is Celestial Flare. So, they're going to make me sacrifice one of my guys that I swing with. Probably sometime earlier in the game, I already saw Celestial Flare, or the game before this, or the game before that. Or I could just suspect that that's what's in their deck because they have a lot of, like, ambush and combat tricks. So, what I would have to do is say, okay, I'm pretty sure that's Celestial Flare. Let's say they only have 2 mana open, so they're probably not going to cast anything too fancy. Let's swing with, let's see, the 2, the 3, and the 8. That way they could Celestial Flare 1, which honestly I would pick the one that gets blocked, but they might play Celestial Flare before declaring blockers. I would hope they do that. So let's say the 8 gets blocked, okay. The 2 gets Celestial Flared, so he's dead. And then the 3 is the one that gets through and still hits for 2. So no problem, we still killed them. So that's probably the safest way. It's not like, what some people do is say, okay, I'm going to swing with the 10, the 6, the 8, the 3, and I'll leave the 2 behind just in case. It's just like a general just in case. Well, why not base it off of what your opponent actually has in their deck, like the cards that you've actually seen. I mean, if they have a Riot Control, okay, swing with the bare minimum. If they have, you know, a Celestial Flare, Kill Shot, a card just like it, where it's like, make them sacrifice a creature, kill one of the attackers or something like that, back them out of combat, I've seen that. Then you want to swing with exactly the amount you would need to still win to counteract that, but you very, very, very rarely want to swing with everything. Unless you think that they're going to flash in like 3 creatures, then you'd want to swing with 5. But then that kind of goes back to, okay, I'm thinking about what's in their deck, what cards have I seen, what cards have hit the graveyard, what cards have they milled themselves or that you milled. Maybe you cast like Thoughtseize or Duress or Despise and you saw their hand and you know what's in it. We'll play around exactly that, precisely that. And the other thing I like to do, this is just a little bonus tip, I'll go to this one and say, well, I'll attack with my 10-10. I'm thinking, I'm pretending to think, and I'm not actually thinking, this is going to be the worst eyes ever. I'm watching you and your hand. I'm just looking at your hand, pretending to think in a stupid cliche way, going, I wonder, I don't know, I'm so indecisive. Oh, help me make the decision. And I'm watching them if they're kind of nervously touching the cards, if they're gripping one particular card really hard, if they're kind of touching their mana or putting their hand near their mana and then taking it back. Most people aren't dickish enough to do that on purpose, so, like to fool you. They'll just be thinking, oh yeah, or if you say, I don't know, maybe I'll, I don't know, am I gonna bring this one? And then they take a card from their hand and they move it from like the far back to the far right, which even I've caught myself doing this, because then it's the most in front card. That means they're about to cast it. And that's one thing I do on purpose. If I'm playing like a so-called pro and they think they're so damn clever watching my hand, if I notice them looking at my hand, and I'm playing like blue counter spells or something, when they say, second main phase, I'll real quick take one card, move it to the front real obvious like, and then keep holding it and like keep looking at them like I'm trying to distract and I'm not looking at what I'm doing. That works too for attacking, because if they're starting to, futz with their cards and they look at their mana, then look at their cards and look at their mana, and then look at their cards and then spread their cards out and kind of look at them, they might be planning something. Although even that one's a little cliche. They might be trying a little hard, the Emmy goes to your opponent or Oscar, whatever one's for acting. I don't frickin' know. I don't care. It's all rigged. So yeah, I mean, that's just the basics of attacking. The number one mistake people make is they'll just say, swing with everything. Swing for lethal with everything. Okay. Well, Riot Control, Fog, Aether Spouts, God, I'm trying to think. There's like 50 cards that interrupt giant swings. It's just not good. It's not something you want to do if you don't have to. There is absolutely no reason to swing with everything if you don't have a good reason to swing with everything. Other than what it usually is little kids just acting really immature, like, oh, I want to go tell my friends that I won by -27, so I'm going to swing with all my double strikers. Woo! And then Aether Spouts. I would do that to so many stupid little kids. No offense to stupid little kids that watch my channel. Although, honestly, if you did that, I mean, come on. So that's my official MTG mistake of the day, is overswinging. Hopefully when somebody was teaching you how to play Magic, they made that example, or they made example out of it by Aether Spoutsing you or something similar. I guarantee like every new player makes that mistake. They're just like, haha, swing with everything, because why wouldn't I? I like to do lots of damage. All you need is 2 points to win the game. I mean, so be careful, be cautious. You very rarely see a pro making this mistake. And so now you can sort of be like the pros and not make that mistake yourself. Now, on the same topic, this is so obvious, but I have to mention it because somebody will, miss this. Don't cast a boost spell if they already didn't declare any blockers and you're already going to win. Like, if I'm bringing my 8/8 through and he has 2 life, don't just say, and on top of it, granted double strike and +1/+1. Ha ha ha. That's hilarious. Celestial Flare, you're dead. You probably would have won if you still had the double strike card in your hand, but no, you went and like literally wasted it. There was no reason to cast it except to be funny. And yes, I do that all the time in casual games, and if I get burned by it, it's twice as funny, but I don't really care if I won, because I think we kind of know I did win if I wasn't playing like an idiot. You know, and who cares who wins? It's just about laughing and having fun and acting like a maniac, which, as you might imagine, I'm quite good at. So that's today's tip, and I'll see you guys next video.